So I was going to do an ADHD meds update, and then I was like, oh no, I need to do a quick December update because I didn't do very well. And so, anyways, and then I recorded like 2 whole videos without actually hitting record. I hit take a photo, so I have photos that I took, and then I did the talk. So, anyways, I'm on like a week and a half ADHD meds, almost 2 weeks actually. Yeah, 2 weeks tomorrow. It has been really good. The biggest thing though is like, yes, I'm able to focus more, but like with family and stuff and travel, it's not as big of a deal. Um, but the biggest thing is that it's helped my migraines immensely. I have had 2 migraine days, and those are travel days, which would be like, and they were mild migraines, like short. Um, yeah, ADHD meds has like, it's done more than almost any other thing with migraines has done. And so I'm kind of like, that's crazy to me. I don't know. I have a doctor's appointment like in a 3 weeks, I think, about, and I'll talk to her more about it then. But that's kind of the big wow thing that I'm super excited about. Because I think a lot of my migraines are just like sensory overload. Because a lot of like people eating loudly has been a big trigger since as long as I can remember. And like people are like and then people like around me when I was younger were like suck it up and didn't really care about it. And then like smells have been a huge trigger. Chemicals, that type of thing, like a lot of laundry detergents and fabric softeners trigger them. And then also like light is a big one. Light, sound, feeling, like a lot of things trigger them. But caffeine and wine don't. Interesting, right? And like hot weather has always triggered them. Cold wind on my neck, so like the contrast of that hot and cold has triggered them. But like cold, I noticed 2 years ago, I think snowboarding, 2 or 3 years ago snowboarding, that like I never get migraines snowboarding. It's the one physical activity I don't get migraines during. It's like, why is that? I've snowboarded since I was really little, but yeah, it's the one activity like running, weightlifting, riding my bike, walking outside, like setting my foot in the heat. All of those things trigger my migraines from like exertion and exercise. Um, the last time I went on like a super short hike, like I like physically have been able to do forever, but the last time I went on a short hike, um, I ended up like throwing up multiple times, and then I swam in the pool and didn't finish it. Swam in the like there's a waterfall. I just stayed there and didn't finish the hike, and then it was just like so short. It was like less than a quarter mile probably. I don't even know, like crazy short. I like threw up on the car ride home, and I had a migraine for days. But the cold water like felt good. Anyways, all that like physical activities always trigger my migraines. And the last like 4 or 5 years have been really bad. So I have not been able to exercise much because I'm so sick. Deadlifting has been pretty good because I can control like how when I stop, and I stop when I need to stop. That's been a good one. But yeah, snowboarding has never triggered him, and so like figuring out like dopamine and association with ADHD and all of that. Like I'm chronically low on dopamine, and that's like, and another thing, like eating junk food, not salty, eating junk food, sweet and greasy food, like helps my migraines for like 20 minutes. Or like it's always helps. Like the last year or so after the babies come, I've had worse migraines, and they've been more like sugar. I was thinking blood sugar related because that's been a thing. Like blood sugar has helped me balancing my blood sugar through cinnamon. It's like super mild, not within like not levels of like dangerous blood sugar or diabetes, but just so I thought it was blood sugar. But I think it's actually dopamine, because like cereal and like carby food also has helped my migraines. So I think all those things just being actually being more about dopamine than blood sugar, and then also being about cold weather, being about dopamine, and also like being sensory, like overstimulation being a big migraine trigger in the background all the time. Like it's crazy. It's so cool. My husband's, I think, is sick of hearing me talk about ADHD stuff because like for years I've been trying to figure out what's going on. It took me about 3 years to get my paperwork in because I kept losing it, all that. So that's 3 years. And I haven't talked about it much. Then when I worked in residential treatment, I was trying to figure out like if it was ADHD or if I had dyslexia or like something. Autism's never really rang true. But like something, like I knew something was going on with my brain that I could not figure out. Like test taking skills have always been terrible. I've never been able to like get tests done. And like in high school stuff too, like worksheets. Like worksheets would take me hours. Like kids would finish worksheets in 15 minutes from like going through. I remember history classes, the kids would finish them like a third of the way through class, and I would be working on it the whole time, and I would spend hours on it at night. Like worksheets took me forever to do, like an easy, stupid, easy worksheet. This just filling in blanks from a textbook. Like I have not been able to do it, and I get it now. It's most likely I've had really bad working memory. Like my working memory is junk. I've talked about like in the series about like being able to follow recipes. Um, but yeah, like working memory is one of my biggest issues. Like I like the other day, we were walking in a hotel room. We're going down the rows, the doors, and I was trying, like, I couldn't. I was like, are the numbers getting bigger or smaller? And I couldn't figure it out. So then I was able to, like, knowing that I have ADHD, knowing that's working memory, knowing like why I couldn't figure it out, I was able to say, oh, I need to focus on the number long enough to remember the next number and see if they're getting bigger or smaller. Like, I just need to look at the last number. I just need to remember that one digit and pay that attention to that one thing, and that was able to make me like figure it out. I've had like so many coping things I've just used my whole life, and for the most part, like, I've done good in school. I had 3.5 GPAs in high school and college, despite having like C's and D's in some areas, but doing fairly well for the most part. Novelty was when I did the best. My freshman year of college, I didn't sleep. I got 4.0. Then I joked every semester I dropped 0.1 down to 3.5, and then I kept it at 3.5. In high school too, I had like 7th grade, 8th grade, I did really bad in school. I had a couple D's, didn't do well. That was after like I'd been placed in the advanced math class before we moved, and I was so depressed. And then I got D's in math, and so then they like put me in the dumb math class, and then I was told, like, my high school teacher told me I was dumb in math, and then I just stopped doing math homework. So like I haven't done math homework since high school, and again, like, now I'm like, oh, I probably wasn't dumb. I probably just didn't remember what he said. Like, I probably just didn't understand, like, that whatever it was. So also, I think Enneagram 5s too will feel like we shut down when we feel stupid. And so feeling stupid has always been like a big trigger for me. Because there's just certain things like I struggle to do, and I say I can't do it, and people are like, you're just not trying hard enough, you're just not whatever. And I'm like I'm trying to the point of like crying and wanting to die sometimes, right? Like, and that's the thing with ADHD is like, there's something wrong with you, but you're smart, but you should be able to do it, but you can't. And you're like, what to do and you know how to do it, but you can't do it. And then so you feel like you are a burden or there's something wrong, and then people are like, what's wrong with you? And so they're validating that something is wrong with you, and you're like, I know something's wrong with you. And I think with ADHD that people without it don't understand is like, it is as difficult and frustrating for the person with it as it is for everyone else around us. Like, so yeah, just like, and I think another thing too is like, I've always faked. Like, I've learned, like, I can't focus during certain things, and I've just like learned to pick out one thing. Like, when someone asks what I thought of it, I was like, say that one sentence. That I've kind of just like memorized and focused on, and there's just a lot. It's really interesting. But anyways, this is like my 2-week update. I just uploaded my 1-week update like right now. It's uploading physically to Facebook or YouTube right now. But yeah, here's my 2-week update. So and just some thoughts on ADHD and all the things. Anyways,